What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode of JoJo's Bizarre Adventure, Diamond is Unbreakable. Ooh, another phenomenal episode. Spectacular voice acting from the English dub. Once again, you've done a phenomenal job, Viz. But, ooh, this Angelo guy? Woo! Man, this dude is one sick motherfucker. Like, and keep in mind, during the Crunchyroll 2016 Anime Awards, Kira was nominated, not Angelo. So, if Angelo is this, ooh, am I not ready for Kira? Because Kira was nominated, Angelo was not. Angelo was one sick motherfucker. Like, in terms of just sickness and just being a villain, I honestly like him more than maybe not as much as Dio, but I definitely like him a lot more than the Pillar Man. Just from the fact of just as a villain. Ooh, yo, nah, this is one sick motherfucker. So, and let me talk about the OP real quick. The OP, now, I don't know if this is the actual OP, because Toonami does have a tendency to, chop the OPs. And especially for JoJo, they usually do it from the start. They never really show you the full OP in all its glory. Well, they kind of did with Star Wars, starting with Part 3, but Part 1 and Part 2, they kind of just chopped it from the start. They never show us the full OP. But this is the full OP because I'm pretty sure it is. Although for JoJo, Toonami has really done a really good job making it not feel like they're chopping it. It makes it feel like it all seamlessly transitions. Anyway, I really like it. The song, art animation looks good. Yeah. So let's begin. So it starts off. We got Josuke's mom. She's looking around for something. She's I don't even know what the hell she's looking for. She's like, motherfucker, where did I put that fucking thing? And you got Angelo, you got Jotaro narrating about Angelo, how he's the sickest, twisted, worst criminal in all of Japanese history, and he drops some milk, and right when he says his last cry before he was arrested was, and then Josuke's mom was hey milkman, watch out, and then he says fouler than dog shit, and he literally steps in dog shit. And she's like, did you step in something? He's like, it looks like I did. And she goes on ranting about it pisses me off how people are leaving their shit around here, and I got half a mind to keep it and shove it in their pockets or whatever. She doesn't let the people leave their shit. Just lying around, they don't pick up their dog shit. Which, I understand a lot of people especially if you're especially at a sidewalk, at a park, in a park or areas like that, fine. But a sidewalk, come on, pick up after your dog shit. Come on, man. Don't just leave it there. People walk there. Come on, have some decency not to leave your dog's dog shit, That's my little 2 cents on that. And she knows, and then she yes, I left your milk over there. See ya. And so she tells hey milkman, the safety pin on this thing is on the bottle is broken, and a little piece of around the end of it is open, which is most likely where he would have put his stand in there, or if it wasn't already in there, so so that he could take over her body and of course kill her. She notices that thankfully he ends up switching. She's like, oh, let's look at that. All right. She's like, sorry for the trouble. Hands over. He's like, and then you see while he walks off, and she also has hey man, I don't see you around here. Yeah, you're not the usual guy. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm interning today, or he's the new guy just for today. And he's like, alright, okay, he says goodbye, and while he's walking off, he's thinking damn that bitch. If I was able, she didn't notice it, then I would have killed both her and Josuke. And then he notices, at this little park, or this little, I don't even know what to call it, this little area here with grass, where this dude is walking his dog, and his dog stops right here to take a shit. And he's like, man, you still got some, you little shit. And then he takes a cigarette and just throws it. Angelo comes in there and literally eats the dog's face off. He grabs it and just eats it like a sandwich. And I'm like, oh my god! Because keep in mind, it's I can imagine that after he eats, he drops the dog, grabs the dude's face, and just spits all the blood in his mouth with his stand, and then it's it's so disgusting. I can imagine when this was in sub, because when it was airing on Crunchyroll, because TV Central, because like I said, we get the Blu-ray for, at least I'm assuming anyway, Toonami, when Viz does their dubbing for this, for Part 3 and Part 4, they get the Blu-rays off from David Production that are uncensored. I'm assuming I'm no expert on what goes down with the dubbing process between the Japanese studios and their English distributors, like what Viz gets from David Productions, or what Funimation gets from Studio Bones for their simuldubs, whatever the case may be. But I can imagine it was probably either there was probably like some black bar, or like like there was either like a black bar, like a dark shadow just over all this where you couldn't see it. The blood probably was the blood was just black, because oh my god, that is just fucking gnarly, man. And again, Araki, what is your beef with dogs? Like, I'm not like. Now, granted, this is like, I swear, this is almost like worse than what happened to Iggy, because at least with Iggy, he didn't get his face chewed off like a sandwich. I'm like, that's just fucking disgusting right there. I mean, like, damn, man, come on. Ugh, damn. That was gnarly. And then, of course, we get back to where back to Josuke's place. So he pretty much just tells Jotaro like everything that would happen last week with him, and with his his Angelo stance, like I'm coming for you and everything happened last week. And then and then his mom asks him like hey Josuke, where'd you get this picture from? It's the milkman from earlier. And he notices that actually in her mouth is Angelo's stamp. So he grabs this bottle full of I don't know if it's aftershave or water or whatever. Anyway, he opens it, empties it out, and then he takes the bottle, and then literally he gets behind her after she's like, hey Josuke, you want some coffee, man? And Josuke, you want some coffee? And he's like, yeah, I'll take a cream with, I think it was cream and sugar. And then he gets behind her, uses his stand to and just goes right through her, legit goes right through her, and grabs him and then pulls her out, fixes up her hole, gets the bottle back, and he's in there. And she acts like, when it's all done, she acts like she didn't just get impaled. Okay, so first of all, can someone tell me how she didn't feel anything? Was it just so fast that from how Josuke got in and out that she that she didn't have enough time to react? Or is there some other reason how she literally felt nothing and didn't see a hand just go right through her? I mean, granted, I know stands are invisible to everyone that doesn't have a stand, but she would still notice the hole and the blood coming out, right? Or am I just going insane? Anyway, he gets back to the phone, tells Jotaro he got some, and tells wait up, I'm gonna be there. I love the little transition they had when Jotaro hangs on the phone and gets into the cab. I love the little transition they did. It was nice and seamless. So props David Production on that. And then he talks about Angelo, how he's a stand user, he doesn't know what literally the full extent of his power. Which, by the way, what did brother mention? That crime he said that Jotaro said that was fouler than dog shit was actually the last crime he committed before he was arrested, or the crime he did but right before he got arrested, was that he kidnapped these three boys. They were about 14, they were each about 13, 14 years old, around that age range, and he raped and murdered the first two. Yes, raped and murdered them both. Yes, if you weren't already ooh, damn, this last one will be come on, Araki, chill. So for the third one, he knew that he was from a rich family. So, of course, being able to read the situation and wanting to get a couple of extra, get a little bit extra of them dollar bills, making it rain a little bit, he asked for a ransom. And then he got arrested. But when they found in his little torture den, the kid was already dead. And, Araki, where do you come up with this shit, man? Seriously, should I be concerned here? From your beef with dogs to this, bro, should I be concerned? His balls were hanged up on this pillar. Yes, his balls were legit cut off and were just chilling on this pillar that was near the body. Damn! Oh! Nah, that's some nope. That's some gnarly shit right there. I mean, Araki, man, I love JoJo, but man, Araki, where do you come up with this shit, man? Where do you come up with this? Like, dude, are you friends with like a serial killer or something? Or do you just watch too many crime dramas or something? I don't know how you came up with this shit, man. But anyway, back to where it was. So, then he's playing like this little game. Then he's playing this baseball game on the N64. It's not called the N64, but it's pretty much the N64. And it's a baseball game, but the players are his stand. Remember, like, it reminded me of the game when Jotaro played with the other Darby, when they were playing this baseball game, and the players were their stands. So, I don't know if that was like a reference to that, or just like, just a little coincidence or something, but hey, I liked it then. Angelo talks about like, oh, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna kill your hot, sexy young mom and shit. He's very saying, I'm killing him. He then finds out that actually one of the cops that arrested him back when he was 12 was, Josuke's grandfather. He's like, oh, I remember correctly. Oh, so I knew Katana was, so he recognized that is him, and then he's gonna take out 2 birds with 1 stone, or I guess 3 birds with 1 stone in this case, I guess. Anyway, he then plays this little prank where he pulls out his gun and puts it into Josuke's head, be like, shouldn't you be at school, Josuke? And he's like, oh wait, man, and Josuke's like, oh man, chill, I'm just waiting on someone before I go. He's like, don't worry. He tells like, yeah, stupid Gilbert, it's a fake. It's a toy gun. I got you good. Round points goes to me for round 1 for this week or whatever. I guess it's like a little game they do where they prank each other for a week, and whoever has the most points win. I guess, I don't know, but yeah, this one went to his grandfather. And so, he notices that Josuke is out there. He, leaves the bottle, just kind of chilling after he shakes it up one time, make sure, I guess, the stand's there. And he's like, I'm good boy. But then once he turns his back, Angelo goes off about, if I remember correctly, every day after school, after your shift, you drink I think the drink in question was like a kayak. I think it was. I'm no expert on this kind of stuff. So he uses it. Yeah, it turns the. So Stan has like the ability to I guess transform. To because as we know as we learn, he can go through water and vapor, so I'm guessing he can also transform into other liquids. So he turns into a kayak, puts the labeling and everything, and while Josuke wasn't looking, his grandfather drank it, and he of course ended up dying. And then Josuke's like, oh man, he's like, oh grandma, don't worry, after my stand heals him up, he'll be all good. And when I first saw it, I was like, oh my god, because we knew he could heal, but I was like, oh my god, he can revive people now? Oh, come on. Come on, Araki, you're doing this, you're doing what Dragon Ball does, where it removes all tension with those orbs, where death is more than just an inconvenience. But then he revives him. And I like that Araki did this. It gave me where I think it was going to turn out something like Dragon Ball, but instead he does a whole switch where it was like, nah man, nah, I can't with you. You may be able to fix broken bones, but you can't revive someone. So he tries to revive him, he's bad to his own state, his eyes are closed, but then this white stuff comes off of him. And Josuke's like, oh, no man, come on, Gramps, wake up, man, wake up, come on, don't tell me you just passed out for you. Stop playing, man, stop playing. And the voice acting, oh. Yo, the guy, whoever voices Josuke in the English dub, give that man a raise. He did a fantastic. And even the guy that voices Jotaro also did a phenomenal run. So props to Viz on that one. And it pretty much tells man, he's dead. Well, yes, your stands have these amazing abilities. They can't revive the dead. I'm sorry. So of course you got this little scene where you got the funeral. You got the little the smaller guy. Yuichi, I believe his name was Yuichi, something along those lines. I'm literally blanking on his name, but I'm pretty sure it was Yuichi. Says he wants to be there for Josuke, but it's you know what, he probably wants his privacy, so he ends up just turning away. We get back to Josuke and Jotaro. 3 days have passed. He's right there, he's like, man, we gotta take care of, Angelo, and Josuke's like, what, man, and he's like, man, you good, you alright, he's like, man, I'm pissed off, I'm gonna, take as they said right before the funeral happened, the little time skip, he said they was gonna, that he was in with Jotaro to take down Angelo, after what he did. And so, you know, he talks about how he's like, I've never been calmer. But then Jotaro looks around the house and it's been beaten down like, you know, there's like this little cabinet that got destroyed. This chair got messed up. Of course, you know, as we know that Josuke's quirk, Josuke's stand can shapeshift stuff. So, of course, all their shapes are like disfigured. The one that what's where he's like, well, it is your house, so I guess you can do whatever you want with it and break whatever. So Jotaro goes out, you know, looks around, sees these footprints. He's like, Angelo hasn't made any moves for 3 days. It starts raining. And then Jotaro leaves, and they realize it's like, oh shit, it's raining. And as we know, Angelo's stand is water-based, so this is the perfect conditions for him. He runs back inside. Josuke actually just jumps, like Josuke's like on the top, Josuke's on top of the stairs. He literally just jumps down it, like from like the top. He doesn't like go down a couple steps and jumps. He just jumps from one place to the next and just like boom, bam. And so all the hot water has been turned on. Like, of course, since the hot water vapor is up there, so like he got them all cornered with all the, you know, he looks everywhere, like the bathrooms, the roof is leaking, and you know, it's just them trying to like, okay, we're cornered. And oh, but one other thing I forgot to mention actually right there. We find out another thing about Josuke's quirk. I don't know why I keep saying quirk because I'm not reviewing Hero. This isn't Hero Aka. About Josuke's stand is that actually, while yes, his stand can't shapeshift and heal people, it seems like he can't heal himself. Like, he can't use his own stand because, like, you know, he has this little, I guess, scar or cut or whatever you want to call it from when Jotaro punched him in last week. So he can't heal that. So it looks like that Josuke can heal other people, but he cannot heal himself. So if he like when he's like, say if he faces off against Kira and his leg gets broken and his leg is broken, he can't like heal. He has to just deal with it. It seems like so far. Anyway, Josuke has this idea, punches a hole through a wall where so birds are out from the air where all where all the water and steam is everything. Manages to get out. After Josuke repairs the wall, they look over and there's a humidifier right in front of them. Jotaro kicks it, but unfortunately it's too late because then Angelo's stand is inside Josuke's mouth. He gets in there, and then Josuke's like, ugh! He's trying to struggle, but then he uses his stand to. And I'm sure a lot of you have seen this image all over the place on the internet. But if you were like me who didn't see part 4, you were probably like, what the fuck is this shit? It's the, you know, where Josuke uses his stand and his stand's hand goes inside Josuke's mouth. Because, like, I always saw this scene, I was like, what the fuck? It's like, as we all know, JoJo, out of context, makes no damn sense. Like a friend of mine showed me this one scene from part 5 of JoJo, and it was like, I guess the current JoJo had like a lighter inside a sandwich. Keep in mind, he didn't even really tell me the content, and I was just sitting there like, what? Like, I started asking, like, is a sandwich a sandwich? He's like, nope. Like, I'm sure when part 5 gets animated, or I guess I should say dubbed, it'll probably make a lot more sense, but when I saw that image, I was like, what? JoJo is one of those animes that out of context it can be hilarious and it's so confusing, but when you know the content it makes perfect sense. Anyway, and then he pulls out this rubber glove with Angelo's stand inside it, and he tells like, yo, yeah, it's a little gross. He actually cut up a rubber glove into little pieces and then swallowed it. So were they like? I mean, I've never tasted a rubber glove, but I'm assuming it probably tastes disgusting. Yeah. So then he goes outside the window, shakes the glove up all around like maracas, and then Angelo just sends flying out of the tree he was sitting there, spying on them, and they're like, well, there's Angelo. And then, of course, in classic JoJo fashion like it was in part 3, the man gets his command, and it's just as badass as when Jotaro did all those times throughout part 3, like, I love how Araki handles when the enemies finally get their comeuppance, and you know, you get those badass scenes when the villains are running away from Jotaro and Josuke, and he's like, oh shit, oh come on, man, don't ever just, oh, it's so the music, the OST in this episode was amazing, by the way. Like the scene when Josuke's grandfather died. Ooh, I love that song. And here, I loved it. So he's running like, oh, come on, guys. Yeah, sure, I escaped death row, and I've killed many people, but come on, you have no right to kill. He's like, oh, I won't kill. And he tells, like, so he's like, you better watch it. And then he gets pinned behind this rock. And then he says, like, you better watch out. You better not kill me, or, it's good for you. And he points at Josuke. Then Josuke literally just punches him, breaks his finger. Then next thing you know, his hand is, like, fused inside this rock. And then, he's like, oh, you can take solace knowing that I won't kill you. Jotaro won't kill you. But, and then he gives him the classic, oh, no. Okay, not ora, like it was Jotaro, but it was pretty the same thing where he gives him a flurry of punches with his stare. But then next time you see him, his whole body is fused inside the rock. And then the narrator goes on about Angelo's Rock, a popular tourist attraction for romantic rendezvous. Yeah. And so, and then, Jotaro has a, like, intro moment where he says, like, that Josuke is, like, batshit crazy, good, and ends up with the classic, yada, or good grief. And that's where the episode ends. So, let me talk about the ED real quick. The ED, really dig it. I love JoJo has had some amazing EDs. I would say the second ED for part 3 would definitely be my favorite ED. This one is also really damn good, but I wouldn't say it's as good as that one. At least, maybe I might say after more I listen to it, but so far I would say the second ED in part 3 is without doubt my favorite JoJo ED. So overall, I give this episode a 10 out of 10. Like I said, the voice acting was great. Our dynamics was spot on. The gore, oof. The episode was disgusting in a lot of ways. But hey, this is JoJo after all. But man, Rocky, what is your beef with dogs? Anyway, so hope y'all enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me on Instagram if you feel good. Leave those rocks below. And as always, come back for more. See you guys next time.